got my number now. You can just fire off a text.
I'll call you 2 in the morning.
WTF, yeah.
So where do I have to stand here? Right here?
On your blue, yeah.
Are you going to hit me?
No, that's why you're over there, so I don't accidentally elbow you in the face or something.
Are these things on?
Stand by, we got 5 minutes.
Okay. I'll get away from the microphone.
Actually, stand right in front of them and count to 10 for me. I just want to make sure I get a good audio level.
And I think, did the acreage get updated? I think, what's the, oh, is it?
Okay, count to 10.
5, 6, 6, 2, 6.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay, that works. I got you. Thank you. I'll call it in.
So this was as of 9:45 last night.
And counting.
Yeah.
Hey, Schmidt.
Yes, or Vicky's, Vicky's fine too.
Back to this before?
We have.
I missed some.
Okay, no worries.
We've been
Cool.
on
You should have audio channel 1 and not to 9-ish.
Yeah.
All right. I'm good to go?
You look familiar. Sure you didn't change your name?
No, I don't need to hear it.
I do usually go back.
Well, yeah, just have me up.
I missed the briefing.
So it's two-part. So what's the specific operation?
Good on 3-4. Copy that. Right back.
Specifics to operations.
You're asking questions.
You guys are asking questions, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
What kind of questions are we going to get asked? So we can,
We just talked about, just, I mean, you're kind of your basic.
well, help us with, hang on. Help us with that basics. For Chad, I mean, so
Size, structures.
Do not enter.
Chad's operation. So help us understand.
Thanks, Bob.
Nuts and bolts, size, where it started, probably how it started, you may not know, maybe under investigation. What, all the stuff that you can see on the web, honestly.
Because we want to give you that information again. We don't want to stumble.
Yeah, and just think from, if you were living in those communities, what you want to know. You know what I mean? Like, who's evacuated, who's, structures threatened, what's the element. So
Does that help you out?
Yes, sir. Hello?
I think, is this live or?
Yeah, hold on.
Live?
It's Schmidt. Sorry, I have my earpiece in.
Is it live or recorded?
Should have it on. Yes. Okay, I'll stay on the white shot then. Yeah, she's right next to the map. That's kind of the plan that I know of. You'll talk into the mic and she'll stand there. All right, we're good. We'll be streaming it back. It might hit in the 10 o'clock. Is it going to hit in the noon show? Okay, Facebook and digital. Copy that. All right, bye.
John, did you get that?
It's getting streamed live at noon.
It'll just be on our Facebook and our digital, as far as I know.
Well, that's your station.
It's 3 and 5.
For us, it'd be nice to know who's talking.
Introduction?
It's
Oh,
Karen.
you're gonna enter.
That young man is looking for you.
And I'll probably be able to just cover what we need to cover.
Okay?
We're good? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good afternoon, everyone. Karen Takai, information for the Telegraph fire. For the Type 1 team, Team 2, John is our IC. Deputy IC, thank you for reminding. So we'll start going over an overview of what happened in the last few days and then get into a little operation, factual information. Thank you.
So good afternoon. My name is John Pearson. I'm the Deputy Incident Commander for Dave Bell's Type 1 team, Southwest Area Team 2. So brief overview of where we're at. This is about 36 hours since we've taken over the fire from yesterday. We took command of this incident at 0600 on Sunday morning, and we started engaging our resources. First off, I'd like to thank the Central West Zone Type 3 team that was handling the fire up until we transferred command on 0600 on Sunday morning. You know, they did a fantastic job out there in regards to set us up for an operational strategy and tactics to protect the values associated along south of Highway 60 corridor from basically from Superior on over to Top of the World at that time 36 hours ago. So current acres is 56,626 acres. That is from an infrared flight that was taken last night at approximately 9:47. Certainly the fire has continued to grow since that time, with activity primarily spread along the Highway 60 corridor from Top of the World towards the communities of Miami and Claypool. Those communities were put in a set status prior to midnight. However, last night the Miami community was in set and Claypool went in, or got that backwards. Miami was in to a go, and then Claypool is currently in set. So those the evacuations from last night. Operationally, operational resources have done a great job in regards to the Oak Flat area, conducting some firing operations to protect that campground facility, as well as the Resolution Copper mine. Working on towards the east, towards Top of the World. Last night, the operational folks, they did do some burning operations, which are continuing those efforts today to secure that community of Top of the World. As we work further on over into Miami Claypool area from basically the Schultz Ranch Road, operational resources, you know, we've got some additional resources that came in that came from the Mescal fire, in addition to operational resources that were ordered. They began to arrive as well. So now the operational group is looking at the road systems to the south of the fire from that Highway 60 corridor south of Miami Claypool, at road systems to utilize as control features to protect the communities that were aforementioned. In addition, you know, the communities also include Central Heights, Globe, Proper, and those other infrastructures that's associated within that area over there in those communities. On the western flank of the fire around Pickett. The Pickett trailhead, you know, the fire in the Arboretum, the fire was about approximately 1.5 miles from that facility. However, we do have pretty good handle on utilizing aircraft and operational ground resources. We feel pretty confident about that. Last night, the fire was making a push down towards Highway 60 within that area. Operational resources were successful in utilizing and tying that back up into that Raymer area as well. So with that, that's a general overview. I guess on operational resources last night, we reported about 276 personnel on the fire. Resources, types of resources, we got heavy aircraft, air tankers, that's very large air tankers, large air tankers, Type 1 helicopters, Type 2 helicopters, and Type 3 helicopters that are assisting us with aviation assets in accordance with the ground operational resources. So I think I can open up for questions.
0% containment right now?
0% containment as we speak. You know, we do have some pretty good secure lines. However, we got to have those tested before we can go into any type of containment.
Anything particularly tricky on this specific fire, and how's weather kind of playing a role?
You know, I would say that the entire fire is tricky. You know, we're talking about, you know, a year of drought, you know, significant heating. The live fuels out there are at not record lows, but they're very low, you know, in the brush fields and what have you. So it's very conducive to burning, you know, and so in having that extreme fire behavior, and then you combine the weather, wind, topography, those things that get in alignment, and you're going to see some potentially extreme fire behavior, as you saw yesterday with the column of smoke that you saw over on the eastern flank of the fire.
Is the fire heading in any specific direction right now? Because I'm looking at Globe and Superior and just kind of folks for those communities.
You know, you can see by the onset of this fire the direction that it has moved, and that's basically more of a typical wind-driven event. You know, you have those drier receptive fuels out in front of it, so it's following that fuel types along with the weather and the topography. You know, it's kind of making that movement upslope, you know, paralleling, cross-sloping, where the fuels are in alignment and receptive to burning. So that's the progress. So you're likely to see continued easterly growth on the fire perimeter.
And any structures burned at this point?
No structures, to my knowledge, have been impacted from the fire.
And what's the game plan today? What are crews doing out there right now?
So as I mentioned earlier, you know, primary focus areas are to keep the fire south of the Highway 60 corridor, work towards finding the control features, utilizing road systems over here on the eastern head of the fire, hopefully tying that back into the Pinal fire scar of 2017, basically trying to move that fire and keep it out of those communities that are associated with Globe, Miami, Claypool, Central Heights, and I probably missed a couple, but that's the primary focus for that northern flank and eastern flank of the fire. Also focus on the Battle Axe community down here on the southern flank of the fire, in addition to this western flank to protect the Arboretum as well as the community of Superior.
In the Mescal fire, is there a concern about that one as it relates to the Telegraph fire, or where does that stand?
You know, the knowledge that I have on the Mescal fire is that that organization over there is doing a good job with that fire, and things are coming together and they're being very successful. As far as the Mescal fire impacting the Telegraph fire, that's a low probability. In regards to the Telegraph fire impacting or merging with the Mescal fire, you know, I'd say that that's a low probability as well at this time. But, you know, fire conditions, fire weather, fire behavior, that could all change in the next 4 to 5 days.
Do we know how Telegraph started?
No, that's still under investigation as far as my understanding.
Is it even determined if it's human caused it or?
Like I said, it's still under investigation.
Evacuation center?
Evacuation center, you know, I'd have to rely on Karen to provide me that. I know there's the Desert View Middle School over in Globe was identified as an evac center as well. And I think that you can utilize the Gila and Pinal County Sheriff's Office websites to determine those evac centers as well.
If somebody is concerned that it might be headed their direction, is there a website they can check or a number they can call to make sure that they're either going to have to evacuate or they're okay where they're at?
Depending on what county they're in, I would go with those sheriff offices to get that appropriate location.
Forgive me, I know you kind of addressed it already, but just the terrain, if you can just kind of talk one more time, just about the terrain that your crews are up against.
You know, the terrain's out there, you know, there's some unforgiving country, you know, out here in the fire footprint. You know, it's typical brush, chaparral, fuel types that, like I said, is very low live fuel moistures. There's some decadent, probably old brush that's very conducive to burning. You all that live here know what the boulder fields are like, very difficult for ground resources to maneuver in. So, you know, we search for those control features where we're going to have a high probability of success. We're not going to put firefighters in positions where they're not safe, or if they were to get hurt, you know, the extraction time of getting them out is not acceptable to us. So there again, we're looking at features that we can have a high degree of success with.
There's multiple mining operations in this area. You got Sarco, Resolution, Freeport Memorial. Are those mining operations still going on?
Yeah, there's access to their mining organizations. You know, we're working very closely with those stakeholders and cooperators. You know, we're even to some degree utilizing some of their resources to help us with this effort that we're involved with here. So yeah, we're in close communication with Resolution, Colada, those Pinto, those mines that are involved with this footprint.
Can I add?
We're good. Thank you very much. I don't think we need to do that.
We're good. Okay, thank you. For the communities out in between these two fires, want to make sure that you're prepared. Don't wait. You don't have to wait for evacuation. You can just be ready, go on your own choice. If they do tell you to evacuate, don't stay in your home. We've seen too many fires compromised with life and safety throughout our fires, throughout the history of fire. It's not a good option. Just get out if you're told to get out. But again, be prepared. Have your go bags ready to go. If you have any kind of disability or any kind of special issue, please do go early. You can't wait till the last minute to start moving oxygen or wheelchairs or things that might be causing specific issues for your family and your critters, your animals. So, thank you.
There is a place they can take their animals too, right?
There is. I'll get you that information as soon as I get off. We'll get the evacuation centers updated and the animals.
If somebody leaves early, is there an indicator that they could do on the house that they've cleared out?
We don't do that anymore, only because then it allows people to understand somebody's not there, and it could create an issue. Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay. All right. Thanks. Thank you. All right. I'll get you that information.
Thank you.
Oh, did we? Is he? What's his last name? John. That's his last name. Hey, Greg.
Yeah.
You know this area.
All right. Got here. Yeah. Oh, yeah.